What's up, Matt Clark here. We're going to be speaking on mental health today in the Ontario justice system, so stay tuned. It's an amazing video. Love you at the new Matt Clark. What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How is each and every one of you doing on this beautiful Saturday? Me, I feel like total crap. But I'm glad that it's a beautiful day and that each and every one of you can at least enjoy it. But I got my girl here taking care of it, so I'm blessed either way. I want to say thank you to each and every one of the 677 subscribers. It means the world to me. We got to keep this movement going, so if you could, please hit that like button, hit that bell notification, hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, whatever you could do. It would be greatly appreciated. So, I've been asked this question a lot, and it's, what happens with people who suffer from mental health in prison? So this is an iffy issue because, in my opinion, mental health should not be mixed with criminal. I think it's a totally different situation because even though they're committing crimes for much different reasons. And the problem is when they're dumped into the federal system or the provincial system or any system at all, it's so backlogged with issues. They're limited with funds and support from the government and budget. So it takes forever to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. And a lot of these people have severe mental health issues that have not been diagnosed. And because they have these mental health issues, they're not able to stay stable their whole bit. You know, like for instance, when I go to segregation, because I've been there a lot of times in my criminal life, there's people up there that we call the screamers. Okay, now you'll literally hear people scream as if they're being murdered from morning till night. And these are the mental health major cases that can't be put on ranges. They literally just sit up there and scream and scream and scream and scream and scream, and they're ignored. And any CO in a provincial or a federal jail who says otherwise is lying. Look at Ashley Smith. It's a perfect example of what happens in the Canadian justice system to mental health due to backlog and really a bunch of COs that don't care. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I have a story that kind of relates. So I was in Joyceville and I knew a guy named Vince. Now this guy, when I first met him, was a normal, stable guy. And over time in Joyceville, I watched this guy's personality deteriorate. And whether it was schizophrenia or what, I don't know. As his personality changed, this stuff increased, and he was literally for months telling people on his range that he was seeing demons. He didn't come out of his cell. He would barricade his cell with Bible stuff and literally tell everybody that he's possessed by the devil. Now, why COs, guards, warden, anybody wouldn't have done anything about this, I have no idea, because I guarantee you that they heard about it. Now, what happened was for months and months and months, he was left and he deteriorated as a human being. He lost his damn mind. Right in front, everybody on his range watched it happen. And what happened at the end? One morning, a man went into his cell and he was hanging. And he was dead. And that's a reality. This was a normal human being when he got there. So, if somebody comes in as a normal human being and ends up killing himself due to mental health, that means what? That he was neglected, right? And I don't care what anybody says, these people are neglected every single day in the Canadian justice system. And whether it's conscious, intentional, I have no idea. You're going to have to talk to the higher ups in order to find that out. But what I will say is, the system is so backlogged and so underfunded that there's nothing that can be done about it. There should be a specific facility for people that suffer with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. It's not safe for these people in prison either. I was in Lindsay one time, okay? And this guy came on the range, looked like a perfectly normal guy, this African guy. And you know how provincial can get, guys started bullying him. And in the process of him being slapped around, he went totally crazy, stripped down all of his clothes, ended up getting his face beat up right in front of the guards because he was losing his mind. And it was because he wasn't assessed properly. Nobody should be in prison and be subjected to being laughed at, humiliated, assaulted because they're not stable mentally. And anybody who thinks that that's a good idea, shame on you. Now, when I was in Lindsay, there was this black dude. His name was Calvin. And this guy was a giant. And he hated white people because of his schizophrenia. He would sit at the back cell in segregation, and you'd be cleaning your cell or whatever, and you hear him going, white boy, and he'd just stare at you. And you know, if that door got bust, he would attack on sight. And that's why he's down there, because he was attacking white people. But one day, they brought this guy up to population. So we're all sitting, chilling, smoking in the back. And all of a sudden, this big giant dude with these wire frame little gold glasses ducks down in the back with us like, yo, what's up, dogs? And we're like, oh, geez, this guy's a giant. He's like, yo, let me hit that. So, of course, we let him hit that. We didn't right away realize who it was. But eventually we did. Now, what happened was he wasn't supposed to be put on the range. He was supposed to go back up to Seg. But because he was medicated at this time and his schizophrenia wasn't acting up, he slid through the cracks. Now, over time, they put him in cell 6, which has no view of the TV. And he was in the cell with this old white dude who just liked to read books and stuff. And over time, he slowly deteriorated and was standing in the mirror, shadow boxing, hiding under the table. And I know I'm laughing. It's not funny, though. The reality is, they ended up having to come and get this guy, drag this guy off the range with a goon squad of feds because they made the mistake. And they also put other people's lives in danger because they made the mistake. Now, I know that it sounds harsh that saying that these people should be in segregation, but it's not safe for them to be on range, you know, because they don't know how to act. And people are not going to feel sorry for you in jail. It's just not going to happen, whether you have schizophrenia or not. So the reality is, mental health is a severe problem in the Ontario system. It's critically underfunded, and not enough attention is paid to this issue. And it's sad to listen to these voices screaming as if they're in agony from Seg at night is a terrifying thing. It's horrendous to listen to. And you know those people are suffering. And they should not be suffering like that. The government should be doing a lot more. A specific facility should be built for people who are criminally not responsible for the crimes they commit due to mental health issues, and not some, you know, overran mental health facility that offers no real help. It just kind of houses them. I'm talking about a rehabilitation facility with real doctors and a real opportunity to diagnose the real problem so we can actually do something to help these people so they don't have to suffer their whole life in jail because nobody gives a damn. And that's the reality. That's what happens. These people end up spending their lives in segregation because nobody cares. Their family gives up on them. And a lot of the time, their family don't even give up on them. They lose control of them because once they're in the system, that's it. Now, everybody knows who Ashley Smith is. Ashley Smith was the little girl who was arrested for, I think she was throwing rocks at cars or something like that. And she ended up killing herself, and the guards watched her do it. And the reason why they said was, well, we're underfunded. There's nothing we could do. She was on suicide watch. We were paying attention. You watched her die. You could have done something about it, but you didn't. And nobody wants to hear your pity stories and how you feel bad for yourself. You know, this girl lost her life. She's throwing rocks at cars. She should have been in jail in the first place. Anyways, this is something I feel really, really, really strong about. I think it's a goddamn shame, and I think that the government makes missteps every day when it comes to mental health in provincial and federal prisons, and something needs to be done about it. The goal for me, as all of you know, is to build a bigger platform so finally I can get a voice heard and people can at least start speaking on these things, and these things can be brought to the forefront and actually be heard by the public. And I know a lot of the public doesn't give a damn how criminals are treated, but anybody with any kind of sense and logic would understand that rehabilitated criminal or a mental health, somebody who suffers from mental health who has been rehabilitated, medicated, and got the help that's necessary means what? A safer community. That's just logic. Anyways, I don't want to get into all this because it's just going to upset me and fire me up. I just wanted to give you guys something today to ponder. I'm really not feeling well. So could you please share this video, like this video, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. I got a PayPal set up if you'd like to donate. I'm trying to get funds together to get a camera system. It was recommended by a couple of my subscribers, so do not feel obligated. Anyways, I love each and every one of you at the New Matt Clark.